Hello, welcome to Music with Monali. I am Monali. Today, my necklace, as the millennials call it, is extra today, right? Am I using that right? Learning it. Yeah, anyway, okay, so we're gonna be talking soundtracks. Love soundtracks. And so when I'm talking about the best soundtracks, I'm not talking about, people are gonna say, oh, Breakfast Club is the best soundtrack. It's not really the best soundtrack. It's got one of the best, I would call it a theme song, I guess. Don't you forget about me, right? Great song. But can you name me another song on the soundtrack? Can you? Yeah. So I'm talking about full soundtracks where almost every song is legit good, okay? So the first one I'm going to talk about is probably one you're already thinking, and that's Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump might have one of the best soundtracks ever. And I'm not talking about original scores, which that one is good too. I'm just talking about soundtracks. Okay, so Forrest Gump. One thing that makes it one of the best soundtracks is that it goes through the decades, right? It starts when he's little. It starts with, yeah, no, no, crying all the time. That's my Elvis impression. Thank you. And it moves on through the 80s, okay? And so, well, early 80s, I guess it would be. So it has songs like, Here's to You, Mrs. Robinson, right? That's a great song. It's got this one, see if it'll play it. It is.
If you're going to San Francisco.
Yes, it makes you want to put some flowers in your hair, right? Makes you feel very hippie. So it's got that one. It's got I gotta wait till it starts because I love it so much. Right, so feel good soundtrack. It also has the the Credence, like it's got all that. Okay, so that's great. So the next soundtrack I want to talk about is, we're going to jump to the 2000s here, and that would be The Departed. So most people, when they think of The Departed, first of all, they think of a just badass movie. That movie was brilliant. I don't know anybody that doesn't like that movie. If you don't, you must just not like mafioso action movies. Brilliant movie. Okay, so when we're talking about The Departed, again, the original score is amazing, and so is most of the music. So I'm trying to see if I can find. Okay, so for instance, another thing you might think of with The Departed is Dropkick Murphys. And if you don't know who Dropkick Murphys are, then you need to listen to them because they're amazing. I learned about them not from The Departed, even though it is on The Departed. I learned about them from living in Savannah, from St. Patty's. Like, this song was played. If you don't know about St. Patty's in Savannah, that's a whole other thing you need to Google. Amazing. And so this is the big one, right, from The Departed. Do you just want to grab a beer, a Guinness, and just be like, which I did many years in a row on St. Patty's. Makes you want to take Irish car bomb. So this is a main song on The Departed, right? God, just makes it just so good. And then he starts doing the whole, I'm a sailor pig, and I lost my leg. Great. So most people know that from The Departed. But another song you might not know that you knew, I guess, from The Departed, is if you haven't ever listened to Mazzy Star, which a lot of people haven't. She sings a song called Fade Into You, which is a pretty famous song, this one. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I think this is when Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon's chick are getting it on. Of course, in my opinion, any song where you're getting it on with Leo DiCaprio is a great song. So And there's others on The Departed. I won't get into the whole thing. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to jump back again to the 90s. I believe this movie came out in the 90s. It did. And that is Cruel Intentions. And again, when you think Cruel Intentions, most people in the soundtrack, they're thinking the very end song, which is Bittersweet Symphony, which is a great song. They're thinking that one. But what I'm thinking of is Bedroom Dancing is a great one. I like the way these start out. If you like weird, kind of like unknown music, trying to get to when his voice starts.
Do you wanna go dancing in the club? We can have a good time and live it up.
So that's one of the songs. Love that one. Then you have Counting Crows. So the story behind this one is that they originally, I forget who they wanted, but they wanted some big artist to write a song for the love scene between Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon when they first do it, because she is a virgin. So anyway, they wanted another group to write it, but that group ended up backing out. Well, Counting Crows stepped in and they were like, we want to do it. And they wrote this song, Colorblind, which is, oh, it gives me chills. This is a spectacular song. If you are a Counting Crows fan at all, a 90s music fan, so good. So that's a great one on the soundtrack. Man, there's just so many. And then Bittersweet Symphony. And then there's one called Coffee and TV, which is really, really good. Praise You by Fatboy Slim. Every You, Every Me is also brilliant. So yeah, that whole soundtrack, give that a listen. Then I'm going to jump to Ray. This should be obvious why this is a good soundtrack, right? So Ray is Ray Charles. And if you don't know, Jamie Foxx played Ray Charles, and he sang a lot of the songs himself. And it's amazing. And so you're going to get songs like Georgia, Georgia. You know, you're going to get songs like, she give me money when I'm in need. So I'm not going to play all those. And you're going to get the versions that Jamie Foxx sang, which is actually really good. Did he ever come out with any other music on his own? He did. He came out with that Blame It on the Alcohol, that song. Got you feeling loose, blame it on Patron, got you feeling song. I don't know if he came out with anything else. Comment below if he did, because I'm curious, because I actually liked that song when it came out. It was a fun going out song. Now I'm going to jump to 8 Mile. If you don't know why 8 Mile is a good soundtrack, then you either haven't seen the movie or something is wrong with you. And that is Eminem. So obviously he wrote all the music for that, if it was the rapping, like his stuff, right? So you're going to have lose yourself in the music, the moment. You're going to have Rap Game, 8 Miles and Running, Wasting My Time, which is really, really good. You have The Battles, Rabbit Run. You got to listen to these. So obviously the main song that came out of 8 Mile is Lose Yourself. Oh, this takes me back to high school. When did this come out? It had to have been, it says, oh, I can look right now. It says 2002. So yeah, 2002, I was 17. Depends on when it came out. If it was September, I was 18. Oh man, this was like so big. I'd crank it in my car. I had a Honda and it had bass in the back.
One shot.
Oh man, yeah. So if you don't know Eminem from back in the day, and you just know Eminem now, all these duets he's doing and stuff like that, no. You need to listen to Eminem when he's Eminem.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's
oh yeah, so good. And of course, there's many, many, many others on that soundtrack that's brilliant. And then I'm going to say, back to the 90s, we're going to go Dumb and Dumber. So Dumb and Dumber, everyone knows, hilarious movie. If you've never listened to the soundtrack, though, I feel like you are selling yourself short. We love the movie so much in my family that I believe my mom ended up buying the soundtrack. And it's got, oh my gosh, everybody on it. It has so many people on it. Crash Test Dummies, the Gigolo Ants, Butthole Surfers, the Proclaimers, the Primitives, Dead-Eye Dick. Listen to the soundtrack. So there's so many that I love. One that I've been listening to lately in my car a lot that I kind of crack the windows a little bit. It got the fall weather, and then I listen to this one. I don't know why. I think because this came out in 95 or 94, 95. So it reminds me of going to school, my mom driving, and we play this song. And this was in Texas, and so it'd be like kind of like chilly when it came out. It just reminds me of it. So if you like that 90s, not really pop, not really rock, kind of that pop rock sound, you'll like a lot of these songs.
Chilling the air coming off the river tonight. Sure am glad I chose my sweater.
My brothers used to hate how he said sweater, but stuff you remember. Okay, so that whole soundtrack is really good. Now I'm going to say, okay, so do I want to end with this one or end with that one? Well, okay, so Hope Floats. If you haven't seen Hope Floats, it's probably because you're a guy, because it's a chick flick. It's Sandra Bullock and Harry Connick Jr., and it is so good. So this soundtrack is country, and it is kind of hard to find, believe it or not. I'm not sure why, if they just don't want to release it on iTunes or if it is just, I'm not really sure. So I may have to look up songs on their own, but you're going to get people like Deana Carter, Martina McBride, Sheryl Crow, Garth Brooks. You're going to get the To Make You Feel My Love, and also the Trisha Yearwood version. She sings it as well. Martina McBride, she does a duet with, I want to say it is Bob Seger, and it is so good. Oh my gosh, if you love Martina McBride's voice, if you just need to listen to some love songs, if you need to like have some wine and listen to love songs, almost like you're listening to Delilah, if you have her in your area, love someone tonight, right? Like she is that DJ that plays all the corny stuff. This is your soundtrack. It's for you. I remember when I was 16, I drove around and gave all my best friends the soundtrack for Christmas. That's how good it was. They were all girls. What are you going to do? All right, so the one I'm going to end with is Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. Because if you remember in the movie, he has like a tape or 8-track or something that plays 80s music. And so, of course, those are all going to be on the soundtrack. And they're brilliant. So, for instance, you have I'm Not in Love. You have Hooked on a Feeling, which I think might be the biggest one, right? And if you don't know these 80s songs, early 90s songs, remember, if you are a 90s kid, you know about the baby dancing. That was such a big deal. The baby's like,
I can't stop this feeling
so that's a big one.
deep inside of me.
And Come and Get Your Love, big song as well. This is the original. If you're more into 90s music, then check out Real McCoy's version of this song. Hey, what's the matter with your hair? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's a great one. So many, I mean, literally so many songs on that soundtrack that are great. So that's what my list of 2, 4, 6, 8 of the best soundtracks in my opinion. If I missed one, if there's one I need to listen to, if there's like a new movie out that I'm not privy to the soundtrack, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell, likey like. All right. Cheers. Music with Monali.